So the Cranbrook Educational Community was really the brainchild of George Booth and his wife Ellen Scripps Booth. They had established their fortune running the Detroit News and other Michigan newspapers. George was actually a metalsmith by training, and so he was very much into the arts and crafts. So they had a dream of establishing this Cranbrook campus. It started with their home, Cranbrook House, which is a Eliel Kahn structure. It was finished in 1904. And from that, which was really their country estate, they lived in downtown Detroit, or what we call Midtown now. But they had a vision, they had a farm, and he kind of gave up on farming and decided that he wanted to devote his life in this community and build the community. So between 1927 and 1942, the historic campus was built. The campus is actually a historic landmark designation in the United States, and it's considered one of the best design experiences. Design meaning not just the architecture, but also the landscape. So everything that you see from the air or on the ground has actually been designed. So the forest that we have was planted, the lake was made, the hills were created, although there are hills in Bloomfield Hills, obviously, but this was basically flat farmland. So they created literally everything from scratch, and everything is designed. Cranbrook House was their manor, their country estate. This is about 20 miles from where they lived in Detroit. So it was, and there was, this is around the turn of the last century, 1900. So there was very little out here. But Booth, since he was involved in the arts and was very interested in the arts and crafts, had this other vision in mind. And that's really took off in 1927 when they basically gave away their fortune to the trust that founded Cranbrook and allowed for the construction of all of this amazing architecture for the schools, for the art museum, for the science museum, and basically everything else. So Cranbrook House also includes the gardens. That's caretaken by a large number of volunteer gardeners who take care of the gardens there, and those are free and open to the public, as well as the grounds. And so over by the Art Museum, you'll see a very, very long reflecting pool called the Triton Pools. And you will see bronze sculptures all over campus. And there's about 69 bronze sculptures by one particular individual, Carl Millis, who was a very famous sculptor that George Booth brought to Cranbrook to be the first of these artists in residence. So he was like the resident sculptor. It's really a spectacular environment, and it's something that surprises me that many people don't know more about. So we call it like a little hidden treasure or gem here in Bloomfield Hills, which is largely estates, but this is publicly accessible. And so, for example, during the pandemic, we've seen a lot more visitors walking the grounds when people prefer to be outdoors. And so I kind of call it the Central Park of Bloomfield Hills.